Lesson 4 is about adding whole numbers, and the objective is to use place value strategies to add 2 or more multi-digit whole numbers and to use the standard algorithm for numbers up to 999,999. So I'm going to show some of the different strategies that are taught. The first one is called partial sums. So it's really just adding up the values. So you would start with the ones. You have 7 and 4 ones, which make 11, which is just a 10 and a 1. And then you would do the same for the tens place, the hundreds place, and the thousands place. So once you put all the values together, then you would add to find the total number. The next is standard algorithm. This is the one most of us already know, where you follow procedure. And then you start with the ones. If you need to regroup, if it's a 2-digit number, you regroup, and then you continue and continue. That's the one most of us already know. Another one is using place value drawings or models. So like this one would be 5 thousandths blocks, 6 hundredths, 110, 2 ones, and you would do the same for the other number. This part right here is showing how you had to regroup because there were 800ths and 600ths, which is 14, so you can't put a 14 in the hundredths place. So that's showing how you would take 10 hundredths and make another 1,000. The next is expanded form. This is where you would just take a number and break it down by the values. So you have, say, 70 tens and 90. That makes 160. And then you would kind of just keep breaking it down until you get a number in the thousands, a number in the hundreds, and if there were tens, and then ones, and put them together. That's just showing you how the values are used in each number. Obviously, most of us would do this because it's quicker, but these are taught just so that they can understand why they're getting the number that they're getting, instead of just always just following a procedure and not knowing why the number is the number that it is. This is what is taught just so that they know why they're following that standard algorithm procedure. All right, and so here's an example problem. Ariel is playing a video game. She earns 1,075 points in the first level, 892 points in the second level. How many points does Ariel earn in all? So an example problem could be using a model. So you would have the first number, 1,000, and then 7 tens, 5 ones. And then you would do the same for the second number, 800 blocks, 9 tens, and then 2 ones. This right here is showing how there were too many tens in the tens place, because 9 and 7 make 16, and you can't put 16 in the tens place. So you would take 10 of them. 10 tens make 100. So that's why there's an extra 100 here. So this model is just showing you how the regrouping works. So if you put them all together, you would have 1,967, 1,960, and then 7. All right, another example problem is a skyscraper has 5,612 small windows and 872 large windows. How many windows does the skyscraper have in all? So an example could be to use the expanded form. So you could start larger to smaller. Always just start with the smaller, which is the ones place. So you have a 2 in the ones place from that one, a 2 in the ones place from that one. You have a 10 in the tens place. You have 70 in the tens place. And then you go to the hundreds. That makes 600. That makes 800s. There's only one number in the thousands, so that's why it's just 5,000. And then you would just keep breaking the numbers. So put the hundreds together, which makes 1,400. Put the tens together, makes 80. Put the ones together, that makes 4. And when you break it down again, you can add up 6,400 plus the 84, which gives you 6,484. Which is also a way to do it, is standard algorithm. Start with the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands. There's no regrouping in this because no place value had 2-digit number in it. So that's why there's no regrouping. But this is an example of why you get this number. All right, in the final example problem, Lupe's mom and dad own a tamale restaurant. Around Christmas, the restaurant sells 5,657 pork tamales and 3,804 beef tamales. How many tamales does the restaurant sell around Christmas? So this one was the partial sums that I talked about at the beginning. This is really just showing the value of each number again. So 7 and 4 ones makes 11, which is 110, 1, 1. The tens place, you have the regrouped 1 because you can't have 11 ones in the ones place. So you have that 110 plus the 5 tens and 0, which makes 6. Then you would move to the hundreds. 6 and 800 make 1400s, which you can't have a 14 in the hundreds place. So you know that that makes 1,000 and then 400s. So you look at the regrouped number. There's that 1,000, the 5,000, 3,000. Put them all together. That makes 9,000. And you can also still do the standard algorithm where you start with the ones, start with the tens, hundreds, thousands. All right, so lesson 4 explores different strategies, like we just went over, for adding larger whole numbers and build an understanding of how place value and regrouping relates to addition.